Who is Fancy Fingers? Well, Fancy Fingers is me, multi-talented artist. I'd say I am a wholesome musician. Um, and with that means that I play quite a number of instruments. I play the guitar, I play the keyboards, I produce, sing and songwrite as well. And I'm a mix engineer as well. So all the nice things in music is where um what inspired me to play guitar. I mean, I've always loved music ever since I can remember, to be honest. And in high school, actually, is where I got a lot of affinity towards the guitar, especially. But I didn't get to learn it up until after high school, when I learned playing the guitar in church, where a friend of mine was going to that church, and he introduced me to the choir, and I started playing there with the worship team. And I'd say I draw a lot of inspiration from a lot of musicians and music in general. So I grew up listening to a lot of music from my culture, my tribe. That's Ohangla music from the Luo community in Kenya. And a lot of influence of Congolese music, South African music, just generally a lot of African stuff, and of course infused with Western music. So that is what has kind of brought identity of who I am and the kind of music that I make. Yeah, so big. If I can mention names, then big inspiration. I think my biggest inspiration would be a guy call him Papa. He's not a young guy. Lokua Kanza from Congo, DRC. So he's one of my biggest inspiration. Yeah, so I have many inspirations, but that's the one person that I can say is the root of everything that I do. Oh, the defining moment I'd say has to be when I sang at my parents' wedding. So the official wedding, which was actually my first performance ever. So I was 19, straight fresh from high school. I just learned how to play the guitar. I put together all my friends at that time. Made a small temporary band. I think we're about six of us. And my gift to my parents on their wedding day was to sing for them. So I sang for them two songs, and I remember people were so happy. And that's the first time I actually realized that my grandfather was a musician, because my uncle came on stage and said, "That's from our side of the family." So I think that's the moment that I realized that this is something that I want to do for the rest of my life. My musical style is unique, and honestly, as it should be, because for me, I see music as an extension of who you are, and nobody can be like you. We are all unique in our own way. So I guess once you embody that and tap into that, then you actually get to make unique music. So, of course, drawing inspiration from many people and many sounds, and kind of redefining your own sound in a way. And also, the sound keeps evolving, as it always does with me. So, with travels like this, for example, I get a lot of inspiration, and that kind of, feeds my musical brain with something that will develop into something else later on. So yeah, my style is just, it keeps evolving. It's just an extension of who I am, and of course, as a human being, you also keep growing and being getting different inspirations. I mean, just life in general, music aside, and that defines who you are. And then the music now comes as a byproduct of that. The global perception of Kenyan music, I think, at this point in time is quite. People are really looking at us like, something something magical is about to happen. And I can feel it as well. Honestly, I think the past 2 years, there's been a crazy growth in terms of how Kenyan music is evolving, how it sounds, and also how it's being perceived and received by the rest of the world. So yeah, we're heading in the right direction for sure. And the great thing that's happening now is there's a lot of intentional fusion of culture in our music, our own culture in our music, and we our culture is quite diverse because we have I think 45 tribes. So tapping into all those different tribes is something that's honestly um, I am looking forward to doing something like that, but it's already being done by a lot of the singers and artists from Kenya, and that's what's transcending outside, and people are loving it. So it can only get better from this point. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where Kenya music direction is gonna go, and I'm just so proud and so happy to be alive and to witness this and also be a part of it as well. That's always kind of like a interesting question to ask. What comes first when I'm creating? I'd say melody for me is king. Melody over anything, to be honest. If I was to choose one, and I think one that I already kind of naturally go towards is melody. Because the thing is, music is a universal language. So music is about what it makes you feel first. So it's like it hits you and it makes you feel a certain way. And the feeling comes from a lot of the time is the melody. And once that you capture that, and then of course the lyrics are extremely important as well. But I feel you can have the best lyrics with a not so good melody, and you don't have a great song. But you can have really good melody and not have or not say something quite like profound and amazing songwriting, and you have still have something great. And now when you have both of them, of course, that's what we always work towards, is getting great melody and great songwriting. Then you have a gem. So for me, I would pick melody. Behind the scenes, my creative process is first of all, I cut everything out. Phones on silent, completely out. And if I need to speak to whoever I need to speak to, I'm not gonna be reachable for the next 3 or so hours. So for me, that concentration is very important with whoever I'm working with, whether it's by myself or someone else. And I love doing writing camps, actually, because I believe you get the most out of that space where it's just you or the crew you're creating with, and you are, getting to know each other, you get to have chemistry together. Because for me, music is way more than just two talented people coming together, a bunch of talented people coming together. It's about the connection, it's the chemistry, it's the spirit behind it. So for me, it's very important for my creative process to just be in a space that, first of all, everyone feels comfortable in that space, to be with each other in that space, and people can be free to open up. And then I can see the real you can see the real me, and that's how we make great music. So yeah, behind the scenes. And usually my partner in crime, number one partner in crime, is my guitar. So that's my ammunition. That's my go-to person for almost everything. So the guitar instrument is what I always create with. And if I don't have it, it's fine. Also, I can create without. But that's one instrument that gives me, literally makes me from Clark to Superman, is the guitar. Oh my gosh, let me see. I'd say that the biggest challenge actually that I faced sometime last year, actually around this time last year, was I was about to deliver my project, which is called Love Language. You can check it out. It's a collaboration with female artists only across the continent. And I kind of, not kind of, actually did. I lost my files. I had not backed them up. I kept telling myself, I need to back up, I need to back up. You just know how it is. I was on tour, so things were hectic, and I was like, I'm gonna back it up. And I lost the files, and for me, that was the biggest challenge, to be honest, to try and bring back. the feeling of how we made the song, if we had to redo the song, whether it's vocals or the track. And yo, that was a huge challenge. I managed some of them, and some of them are just like, you know what? The demo version that we have, I'm gonna try and tweak it, being an engineer myself, to just make sure it sounds somewhere where it's great. But I said that album in particular was quite the headache because I lost the files. But in terms of just creating music, I don't think there isn't. I mean, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, like any other job. And if it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't work because it's not meant for that point in time. Because there's so much music that I've made where later on the song, works for someone else and not the moment that we were creating it at that point in time. So that's how I look at music. When something fails, at that point in time, doesn't mean that it's not going to work sometime later on with someone else completely different. And that has happened to me so many times, man. So I feel like I approach it that way. So it's not something that I work on a song and I feel like it's we're not getting anywhere and it's not working. I'm like, no, where we've gotten to is where we're supposed to get to, and we move on to the next. And we can come back there, and maybe it's gonna produce magic still. Yeah. Dream of so how I see collaborations. Yeah, of course there are artists that I love and I would love to get in studio with all over the world. I'd say I'd love to get in studio with Army Faku. I've been talking quite a lot. Hopefully that happens. And I think I've got in studio with quite a good number of artists that I want to work with. Anyway, but how I see collaboration for me is it's not even about who. It's about how the vibe is in studio, because making music, you can go for the one artist that you really want and maybe even they charge you for it or I charge you for it. But at the end of the day, if the soul is not there, and you guys are not, there's no chemistry in studio, even outside studio, then the music is not going to be great. So for me, it's just, I seek for that first, I look for that, and then just make music from that, and then it just makes it way easier and way more amazing for sure. So that's my creation. So I don't have target people. I honestly work with anybody who's talented. I just want to make magic. That's it. How did I learn about music publishing? I'd say, I mean, I've been in the industry for almost 20 years now. And when you're starting out, it's not something that you know, or it's a business side of the music, and you just want, as a young artist, you just wanna make music, honestly. And now later on, it just starts getting a bit more serious, and you wanna look at it as a business. Then publishing is the most important thing. And we've been on publishing. When I say we, I mean my band, and myself as well individually. We've been on publishing, I think, for the past 17 years, I'd say. Um, and publishing is very important because that way you have someone who is doing the work for you to make sure that you get your royalties, everything is great. Make sure that you get think opportunities that probably you can't access yourself. Some may come to you, yes, but then they actually go out there and look for those opportunities for you. And it's just great to know how your business works, because this is the numbers game now, and publishing brings that out and make sure that everything within your music is properly aligned in terms of where it's being marketed or it's being pushed, putting in budget behind the music where needed, sync opportunities. So it's all very much beneficial, and that's the business side that I feel all musicians should definitely, get to know about and get to know what it all entails, what it's all about, so that you have control of your business, because this is your business. All right. Yes, many artists do suffer from a business side, as I've even said before. I would say, aside from making the music, you of course get if it's something that is you feel like it's too much for you as a artist that you just want to make music, then get someone to represent you. Get someone who's a business head and who's going to, have your best interests at heart. And that, of course, includes all this side of publishing and performance and all of that. And yeah, just advice that, once you start seeing this music as business, and you wake up in the morning and you're like, this is actually my work, like this is everything, and your mentality will change. And once you start getting the structure of the business side of the music, you will definitely, go way further than you currently are. So my advice would just be to at least know yourself first of all, know what your strengths are. If your strength is just in making music and that's all you want to concentrate on, then get a team to be on top of your business. And slowly by slowly, you get to structure your business according to how your line of work is. Because all of us, yes, we're in music, but then we're in different geographical locations. For example, things work differently. We're under different societies, collective societies that work differently. Different regions have just different rules and different ways of working. So just take up the business and know that this is all that you got. Working with Shia, so actually within the band Sauti Sol, we were signed to Shia for quite a number of years, I think almost 10 years, if I'm not wrong. Could be even more than that. And it was good for it was at that point, of course. And we have a great relationship, always have had a great relationship with Shia Publishing. And now that we are now getting into solo careers, I am very much happy and excited to be part of the family once again. At least my records are still, my old records are still intact and in place. Um, yeah, working with Shia honestly has been fantastic, and I look forward even much better ways of working, better relationships. To take it now a notch higher and be able to achieve all the things that I'm sure both of us on our different sides want to achieve, and just make sure that we make the best out of this. To be honest, so I'm excited to be here, to be part of the family once again. Just looking forward to greater things. The future of music publishing in Africa, honestly, is just it can only get better. It can only get better. Systems are much better now than they were 30 years ago. Number one. Number two, the amount of talent that's just coming out of this continent is madness. So that's one amazing thing that's happening, and it's all across the continent, everywhere. Kenya, South Africa, Nigeria, Uganda, everybody's just really buzzing. Number three, Africa is where it's at right now. African music is absolutely killing the whole world. Like everyone just wants a piece of our continent. We welcome you all. um, and with that, honestly, there's so much potential, so much untapped potential from this continent in so many things, in all sectors. And music is the one place that's going to really blow up if it hasn't already. And of course, that means that publishing will be like crazy, crazy amazing in the next, I'd say, even 5 years, within the next 5 years. So this is a place to be. This is a place to make the music from. This is the place to get inspiration from. And I'd love to see actually more collaborations across the continent, just within the continent, within ourselves, to just come together, whether it's East Africans and South Africans coming together, East and West together, West and South, and just creating music that, people have never had before. Because honestly, it just feels like we're the ones coming up with different sounds and styles and evolving our genres in all the time into just, you know, keeps getting better. It keeps getting a level higher every time. And I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. So that also means that the publishing is going to be off the charts. I mean, I'll go straight to what I studied in school, which is risk analysis. It's actuarial science. So I guess I would go into that field because I studied for it. But honestly, I don't know. I don't see myself doing anything else other than this. And I'm just saying actuarial science because that's what I studied. So I can't even think of anything else. So I guess we'll go with that. Surprising fact about me is well, this one I think some of them know. I'm a head tattoo, but I'm vegan. But I choose not to eat meat. Let me just put it that. Don't need to putting labels. Another interesting fact that I am a great painter, but I haven't painted in a while. So I'm gonna get back to that. But that's one thing that many people do not know. Yeah. When I'm not making music, I listen to music. When I'm not listening to music, I am spending time with my son. Yeah, that's one space that I'm very happy to be in. And I watch a lot of sports, and especially football. So that's my downtime really. And I'm very much into wellness also. So I do a lot of workouts, a lot of hiking, running, just getting into shape. And I have a wellness community in Kenya that I love to work out with. So yeah, that's one place, and that's I do that for my mental more than anything. And being in this industry also, it's something that I first of all pride myself in the fact that I really am into wellness, and I always trying to influence as many people as possible within the music industry to get into wellness. Yeah, and it's for the mental, as I said, and it just keeps me mentally strong. Gives me the creative juices that I need to make the music. If I could give my younger self one piece of advice about the industry, I'd say I tell my younger self that you have so much more time than you think you do. I value time a lot, and I feel when you're younger, you may feel like you don't have time. I don't know why. When you grow older and you have more responsibilities, then you realize, oh snap, I actually did have a lot of time. So use this time to really know yourself musically, know what it is that you want, what direction you want to go. It's a time to learn an instrument if you don't play one, for example. It's a time to do crazy vocal lessons. It's a time to put yourself in spaces that you would maybe when you're older you would have the time to go to studios, go to concerts, meet people, and all of that. I feel that creates a really solid foundation for the future. That's one thing. Another thing also is to really know your business. um, of course, we love it when you're talented and you're making music and you have the bars and people want to sign you, and it's great. But then you need to learn the business because there are sharks out here. So you need to know what the business entails, what I need to do in terms of, getting a manager, getting a publisher, getting a record label deal. All these things are very important. And things may appear like they are the most amazing thing ever, the most greatest deal ever. But then when you really read through, you see some clauses that are like, yo, this needs to be fixed. So just invest, and also invest in your craft, invest in yourself. In terms of knowledge, in terms of skill, just invest in yourself. All right, what's next for me, or what's coming from me? Honestly, I'd say I'm working on so many things because, as I said in the beginning, I have so many. I wear different hats. So the producer me has a lot of projects that I'm working on, mine or with other people, or for other people. The artist me has quite a number of projects already aligned that are coming out. The guitarist side of me also has projects coming out. So all these things are just coming out at the moment, but the one that's coming out soonest is a collaboration album with a Kenyan artist called Winyo, and that's it's called Jawaya Jathum. So that's the one that's coming out next, and it's a brilliant piece of work. Well, honestly, one of the best music that I have made. I can confidently say so. Yeah, and just a lot of collaborations with big artists from all over the world. To be honest, some Indians, Americans, a lot of Africans as well, Europeans. It's just all across. So the catalog is huge. It's just time to just release them one by one.
Kimaliza utasema John nani nani Harry Kress bora machine anapenda kuzilika anapenda chicks anapenda thigh anapenda hizo hips six kiwa